This is what we learned from each team in NFL Week 11. Alrighty, first team we got up is the Carolina Panthers. Takeaway for them is Bryce Young just had another legacy game. I don't know what it is, but Bryce Young literally does nothing for probably 75% of the games. Doesn't really have like any crazy numbers. And then there's just that one game during the season, or a few games during the season, where it's like, dang, Bryce Young looks really good. And this was one of those games. He's playing the number one pass defense in the Atlanta Falcons, and he puts up 400 yards passing. Yeah, that's got to be the main takeaway for this game. New York Jets, takeaway for them is this team's a mess. I mean, it's just another one of those years for the Jets. They can't really figure out their quarterback situation. You know, I don't even think Fields played necessarily bad, but I heard they're swapping him out for Tyrod Taylor. The defense is pretty mid. It's just, there's a lot they got to figure out, and it's a mess right now. Miami Dolphins, takeaway for this team is, could we see a playoff comeback from this team? That's kind of my takeaway. I think we could actually see the Dolphins come back and make the playoffs. Mostly because their schedule is easy. I don't think they're that great of a team. This was by no means an impressive win against the Commanders, but I think we have seen, enough from them where they're solid enough that they can beat some of these crappy teams that they got in these coming weeks and possibly have a chance to make the playoffs. New England Patriots, takeaway for them is this team's the best team in the NFL. I'm sorry. I don't think this needs to be debated anymore. The Patriots are the best team in the NFL. This team easily could be undefeated. If you watch the first two Patriots games, they were extremely close to winning those games. There's just a few things that lost them those games. I mean, this team has looked fantastic. This team could easily be undefeated. Or maybe it wasn't their first game. Either way, this team is really good. This team is the best in the NFL. Atlanta Falcons, takeaway for them is this is a sinking ship. And it's partially because of injuries. Penix, of course, got injured in this game. They're just not living up. Like I said, I think the Falcons are one of those teams, always stay in the games, always play good, but kind of fall short. And I think it's just, that's kind of got to be the story by the end of the season for them is, they're a sinking ship right now. Washington Commanders, I don't have a huge takeaway for them. My takeaway is they're doing the best they can. Defense played pretty well. Offense did, pretty solid, but overall they just fell short. And that's my takeaway for them. Buffalo Bills, takeaway for them and in this game is that pass defense continues to step up, and it's been really impressive to watch. A team that I definitely would have not thought their pass defense was going to be good, coming into the season. But pass defense looked great against the Buccaneers. Of course, Baker Mayfield did not have a great game, and they just look great. Overall pass defense has stepped up. Tennessee Titans, takeaway for them is there's just no run game, for this team whatsoever. I know you're going against the Texans, which is an extremely tough matchup, but overall there was just no run game going for them. Pollard couldn't get going. I think Cam Ward was their leading rusher, so I think that tells you a lot. And for an offense that really doesn't have a passing game, you can't have not a run game. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. So overall, their offense is a mess. Their run game needs to be figured out. Okay, all right. This next one, Chicago Bears. Just be patient, y'all. Just be patient. Bears fans, just be patient. All the fans that hate the Bears, just be patient. I'm telling you, this team is probably one of the most overrated teams in the NFL right now. Mostly because of their record. But when you look at the teams they're beating, they're not that good. This team is not that good. Just be patient. Just be patient. The crash is coming. This team is not that good. Just be patient. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, takeaway for them is, I said this takeaway a few weeks ago, I believe, when they played the Lions. And I'm going to repeat it again. The Bucs cannot hang with the best of the best. They just can't. Ultimately, they're a really good team, but they cannot hang with the best of the best. They're not going to make it far in the playoffs, and that's just a fact. Houston Texans, takeaway for them is Davis Mills looked really good. I got to give it up for Davis Mills. He looked fantastic coming in as a backup for C.J. Stroud. He looked almost better than C.J. Stroud at some points this year, and it was impressive to watch him play. I think he played a really good game that, even though it was a close game, they got the win. Minnesota Vikings, I hate to say I told you so. That's my takeaway. I said it a few weeks ago, but I told y'all it's over for him. It's over for him, and it's just, I said in that video, I don't like how J.J. McCarthy looks. I don't think this guy is a starting quarterback in the NFL. I mean, I proved my point. I proved my point. You know, it just, J.J. McCarthy did it all for me. I mean, he looked atrocious out there against the Bears, who are not that great of a defense, to be honest. Yeah, he just does not look like he's ready for the NFL. Vikings, y'all are done. Y'all are done. I'm sorry. Green Bay Packers, not a huge takeaway for this team, but either way, my takeaway has got to be this was just a hard-fought win for them. You had some injuries. You had injuries to Josh Jacobs. Jordan Love went to the locker room for a little bit. Overall, there was just some injuries going on. It was a tough football game, but they got the win. And yeah, that's my takeaway. Alrighty, my Cincinnati Bengals. Last time I made this video, that was the Jets game, I believe, or maybe no, it might have been the Bears game. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter. They were both impossible to watch, basically, for me, basically torture. But basically, I came on here and just didn't say anything. I just stared at the camera. I will say this, it's just, for the Bengals here, there's just a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong. There needs to be changes made that probably won't be made until the end of the season as far as coaching. Some coaches definitely need to be fired, whether that's Zach Taylor, whether that's, Golden. I don't know. There's a lot of changes need to be made. There's injuries, there's suspensions. You can tell the locker room just isn't liking each other. I mean, there's just a lot wrong with this team right now. New York Giants, again, similar to my Packers segue, but obviously the opposite here. This was just a tough loss. You got Jameis Winston in there now. They played an overall pretty good game as far as balancing the pass as well as the run. And yeah, it's a tough loss for them. Pittsburgh Steelers, takeaway for them is their defense looked good. They did a great job against my Bengals, unfortunately. Did a great job against our offense, which had been rolling. That's been the one bright spot for our team. And they shut us down. They shut us down, and it was a good defensive performance. I'll give them credit. Jacksonville Jaguars, man, this game was one of the craziest games of the week as far as just the outcome of it. But main takeaway from this game is their defense looked fantastic out of nowhere. I mean, it was bizarre, how they shut down Herbert. I mean, he had 81 yards passing. I don't know. It was amazing to watch. Just the amount of pressure they put on Herbert. It was crazy. It was crazy. That's my takeaway for them. Seattle Seahawks, takeaway for them, and in this game is Sam Darnold will fold under pressure. And I think this is something we saw with the Vikings in the playoffs last year, where he couldn't get the job done in the playoffs. And I think we're going to see that again this year. I really do. I think there's something with Sam Darnold. When the pressure's hot, you got two of the top teams in the NFC going against each other. He folds under the pressure. And I think that's something that he's got to work on and he's got to get better at. Arizona Cardinals, main takeaway for them is, it was the turnovers in this game. That was the main issue for them. Offense played pretty well, but I believe Brissett had 2 interceptions. I believe there was a fumble. It was very hard, I will say, against the 49ers. They played a great game, but the turnovers definitely hurt them quite a bit. Los Angeles Chargers, takeaway for them is this offense looked disgusting. Obviously, we just talked about the Jaguars defense. It did look good, but there was no excuse for the numbers they put up in this game. Herbert had 81 yards passing. Again, I don't know if Madison Beers distracting him. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on with Herbert. It was ridiculous. And then you look at Kamani Vidal. I believe he had I don't even know if he had 20 rush. I mean, it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting to watch. They looked terrible. And yeah, the entire offense just was a mess. Los Angeles Rams, takeaway for them was this was an ugly win. But they got the win. That's all that matters. But it was not pretty. It was definitely ugly. But, again, not a huge takeaway for them, but they got the win. San Francisco 49ers, offense looked great with Purdy back. run game was involved. The pass game looked more balanced as far as not just going to McCaffrey. It looked a lot better. They looked much better having Purdy in the lineup, getting some guys healthy. They looked much better. Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I'm sorry. It was a prime opportunity. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I mean, do I need to really explain now? At this point, do I need to explain it? I mean, come on, brother. It's just like, it's iconic right now. I'm sorry. But that's my takeaway for the Browns is, you guys know what I'm doing with this. Denver Broncos, takeaway for this game was definitely them just slowing down Mahomes just enough. Mahomes played a pretty good game, passed for a decent amount of yards, but they got an interception on him. He also had, I believe it was like 16 incompletions, something like that. Either way, they slowed him down just enough to get this win, and that ultimately was the difference in this game. Detroit Lions, takeaway for them was their offense really never got flowing in this game. Whether it's the run game, they didn't really get that going. Goff had I think he had 255 passing yards, but he had a ton of incompletions. I don't remember his exact. I'm thinking 14 out of 37. It was a lot of incompletions. He struggled. The offense really never got going, and ultimately that was the reason they lost this game. Baltimore Ravens, takeaway for them is their pass defense played well. Of course, we just touched on Shador with the Browns takeaway, but ultimately their pass defense did play a lot better. I believe Cleveland only had 130 passing yards in total. I think a lot of that was definitely against Shador, but still, ultimately, that's what won them this game was their pass defense. And similar to the Ravens, but really the opposite, for the Chiefs, their pass defense was struggling. That was the main takeaway for this game. Knicks threw for 295. And so far in the season, the Chiefs' pass defense has actually played pretty well. But not in this game. This was not the case for this game for them. And they struggled. Philadelphia Eagles, takeaway for this game. And again, I don't have a huge takeaway for the Eagles. I'd say my main takeaway is Saquon got involved in this game. And that was the reason they really won this game. Hurts, he looked okay. He didn't look great. But they got Saquon involved. They played more Eagles football. And they got the win. Dallas Cowboys. This one, I think there's a lot of takeaways for the Cowboys here. But ultimately, I think the biggest one is their defense looked much, much better. Of course, you can point to the offense obviously looked pretty much unstoppable. But I think the biggest takeaway was this defense that has struggled all year finally looked a lot better. Finally looked like a defense that can actually stop someone. And, we'll have to see how they play in the upcoming games. And final team up is got to be, of course, the Las Vegas Raiders. Takeaway for them is somebody help this man, Ashton Jeanty, out. Please help this man. They had no run game. And Jeanty, when he would get the ball, the Cowboys would be in the backfield just immediately. It was hard to watch. And they got to help out Ashton Jeanty. Alrighty, y'all, that is going to cap it off for the video. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.